Hello, gentle listeners, and welcome back. It's finally warmer out here in Ohio. Spring is in full bloom. I'm glad you are here. Last month we talked about a small town with some baggage. This full moon, I'm taking you to the Ohio River into West Virginia. We're talking about UFOs and shit. So join me on June 3rd as we dive deep into Indrid Cold and the Mothman and the Men in Black.
Today is West Virginia Day, and in honor of the mountain state, I'm going to tell you about one of Appalachia's most strange and terrifying paranormal entities. His name is Cold, Indrid Cold, also known as the Grinning or Smiling Man. There have been sightings of Indrid Cold outside of West Virginia, but the most famous sighting comes from this man, 50-year-old sewing machine salesman Woodrow Derenberger. One night in 1966, Woodrow was driving home to Mineral Wells from a town where I used to live, Marietta, Ohio. He was driving on Interstate 77 near Parkersburg, West Virginia, when suddenly a car flew past his truck, and that car was being pursued by a large, strange flying object. The object began to slow, and it blocked both lanes of the highway, eventually forcing Woodrow to stop. Immediately the object lowered and a door opened, and out from the door came a man. The strange man approached the passenger side of Woodrow's truck. He was approximately 6 feet tall, wearing metallic clothing. His arms were folded and his hands were placed in his armpits. He had slicked back brown hair, and according to Woodrow, he had a nice tan. But there wasn't anything unnatural about the man, beyond the exaggerated smile that never left his face. The strange man requested that Derenberger roll down his window, and he complied. He told him multiple times not to be afraid, and that his name was Cold. Cold and Derenberger engaged in a cordial conversation about Derenberger's employment and the city of Parkersburg. Cold told Derenberger that he would be seeing him again before heading back to his ship to fly away. But the most unusual aspect of this conversation was the fact that on Cold's end, it was entirely telepathic. That toothy grin never once moved to utter a word. The very next day, Derenberger gave an interview about what he saw to the local news station, and this interview can still be seen on YouTube. In later years, Woodrow would claim that Indrid Cold visited him several more times, even going so far as to take Woodrow back to his home planet. There are some who believe that Indrid Cold is somehow related to the events surrounding the infamous Mothman, which occurred around the same time period. Others believe he may be an alien, perhaps even Valiant Thor, an alleged alien that supposedly spent some time at the Pentagon. Let me know what you think in the comments.